All right, let's talk about something that pretty much all of us are doing at this very moment. Sitting. Seems totally harmless, right? I mean, what could be more normal? But what if I told you that simple act is one of the biggest hidden threats to your health? Yeah, let's get into it.
So you try to do everything right. You hit the gym, you try to eat well, you're putting in the effort, but what if the most dangerous part of your entire day is your chair? It sounds crazy, I know, but the science behind this is actually really compelling, and honestly, a little bit scary.
Okay, so what are we really talking about here? These aren't just minor aches and pains. This goes way beyond feeling a little stiff after a long meeting. We're talking about serious, systemic risks that can affect your entire body.
I mean, just look at this. The range of problems is, wow, it's staggering. It's not just one thing. It's like a domino effect. On the metabolic side, you've got obesity and high blood sugar. For your heart, we're talking heart disease, high blood pressure. And your bones and muscles? Yeah, increased pressure on your spine, which can lead to hernias. And if that wasn't enough, there are even links to an increased risk for some cancers. It's literally a full-body assault, all from just sitting.
And here's the kicker. This isn't some brand new, shocking discovery. Nope. Scientists have been trying to tell us about this for decades. I mean, go all the way back to the 1970s. That's when they first started measuring the pressure on our spinal discs. And what did they find? That pressure just skyrockets when we sit down, especially if we're slouching. And by 1975, it was official. They connected that stress directly to a higher risk of disc herniation. Think about that. We've known this for almost 50 years.
So the physical strain is bad enough. But honestly, that's only part of the story. The really shocking part, the thing that turns everything we think we know about health and exercise completely on its head, is coming up next.
Okay, so here it is. The big myth that almost all of us believe. We tell ourselves, it's fine. I sit all day, but my hour at the gym totally cancels it out. Well, the research is crystal clear. That is just flat out wrong. Sitting is what's called an independent risk factor. And what that means is the damage it does, it happens anyway. It doesn't matter how much you exercise. You literally cannot out-exercise a sedentary day. You can't outrun your chair.
And we're not talking about some tiny little study here. There was a massive Canadian study. They looked at over 17,000 people. And they found a direct, undeniable link between the amount of time people spent sitting and their risk of dying from any cause. And this was true even for people who exercise regularly. It's a simple, brutal equation. The more you sit, the higher your risk. Period.
So what's the mechanism here? How can sitting be so destructive? Well, one of the biggest culprits is something called metabolic syndrome. The best way to think about it is like a perfect storm of bad health news for your body. You get high blood pressure, high blood sugar, extra body fat around your waist, and your cholesterol levels go haywire, all at the same time. It's your body basically going into a state of metabolic crisis, and it's all triggered by being inactive.
All right, I know this all sounds pretty bleak. It's a lot of bad news. But here's where the story takes a turn for the better. The solution, the fix for this, it's not some crazy intense workout program. You don't need to buy any expensive equipment. The real answer is actually incredibly simple. And it works. So here it is. This is the simple rhythm you need to remember. For every 30 minutes that you're sitting, you just need to get up and move for 5 minutes. That's it. 30 on, 5 off. The key here isn't about how hard you move. It's about how often you move. It's all about frequency. The goal is just to constantly, consistently break up those long periods of sitting. And you know what the best part is? Moving for 5 minutes doesn't have to be a big deal. You don't have to go run a lap or start doing push-ups. Any little interruption counts. Just stand up, walk around a bit, do a few simple squats at your desk, stretch your back out. That's enough. And the research shows that these tiny little breaks, these movement snacks, are powerful enough to help regulate your blood pressure and blood sugar. And get this, they don't hurt your focus or productivity one bit. In fact, they might even help.
Now, this is obviously a game changer for anyone who works in an office, but it makes you think about an even bigger issue. What about the one place where sitting for hours and hours every single day is basically mandatory? What about our kids? What about our schools?
Now, your first thought might be, wait, if you let kids get up and move around all the time, isn't that just going to be chaotic and distracting?
Well, the data shows the exact opposite. It's pretty amazing, actually. When schools build in these little movement breaks, everything gets better. The kids' concentration goes up, their behavior improves, and incredibly, their academic performance actually improves too. So it turns out movement isn't the enemy of learning, it's the fuel for it.
So this really puts teachers in such a critical, powerful position. Just by building in these tiny little breaks every, say, 20 or 30 minutes, have the whole class stand up and stretch, or do some deep breathing, or even just walk a lap around their desk, they can completely transform the learning environment. It is such a small investment of time for such a massive payoff, both for the kids' long-term health and for their education right now.
This all really boils down to one powerful fundamental idea. And one of the researchers in this field said it perfectly. Health is a consequence of what we do all day. It's not about that 1 hour you spend at the gym. It's about the other 23 hours. It's something that has to be woven into the fabric of your day. It has to be planned. It can't just be left to chance.
So I want to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. For our entire lives, we've been taught to think of movement as a break from work, a break from learning, right? But what if we've had it completely backwards this whole time? What if movement isn't the interruption to the important stuff? What if movement is a necessary part of the important stuff? What if it's the key to helping us think better, feel better, and ultimately live longer? Now that is a shift in perspective that could truly change everything.